BBC Today guest editor James Rebanks took a brutal swipe at Rural Affairs Secretary George Eustice over the government's post-Brexit farming strategy. James Rebanks said he would not buy a second-hand car from the Environment Secretary after listening to George Eustice outline his government's plans for British farming. Mr. Eustice insisted additional funding will be distributed from next year in order to make farming more environmentally friendly. But the Today programme guest editor appeared unimpressed with the proposals, and made his discontent known. Speaking to BBC host Nick Robinson, he said, "You listen to George Eustice, I wouldn't buy a second-hand car off the man. He can talk anything out." Mr. Robinson replied, "Well, he's not here to defend himself." The Cumbria farmer said, "Well, he was here, and he had plenty of chances to defend himself." The fact is we are a food and farming economy which is worth way north of £100 billion. If that's all going wrong and being deregulated and made worse, you can't make it right with £2.70 or £3 billion worth of greening money. That's the fantasy at the heart of this. Mr. Rebanks added, "What this is really about is the deregulation of agriculture and the environment, the liberalization of trade policies." You heard it in speeches, this is about bits of wilderness here and there to buy us off, and then it's about tasking the majority of England being asked to be more intensive, more industrially farmed and competing with North America. And those things don't actually make sense ecologically or in terms of food production. Mr. Eustice however defended the government's policy, insisting additional funding will be made available from next year to help improve soil health and move on from the subsidy system the UK followed while in the European Union. The Environment Secretary said, "The key thing is the amount of money we're putting into the agricultural policy stays the same. And we've always said this will be an evolution, not a revolution." That's why next year we'll be reducing the old legacy area subsidies the EU used to have in place by 15%. But we're rolling out that money, every penny of it, to support the initial rollout of the first stages of the new policy. He added, "That's initially the sustainable farming incentive, focusing on soil health, because we know that's key to healthy crop production but also to biodiversity and reversing some of those trends as well."